Hey there, this is Ben Corcoran from benzochess.com with another lesson here today. Today I'm going over some basic endgames, pretty simple ones, and this is geared towards more beginners that are just trying to, solve endgames. This is pretty much just minor piece endgames with bishops and knights versus a pawn. So we're gonna view it from the white side, and pretty much from the white side, if you don't know which way or what the white side is, the white pawns will always be going up, and the black pawns will always be going down. So no matter what position or what problem puzzles we're gonna be viewing, that's the way everything's gonna go. So while erasing all these arrows, I'm gonna give you a puzzle every so often, and I'll be saying it's white to move, black to move. When I say whoever it's to move, you can pause your video, it's up to you, and then I only give you that couple of seconds to pause your video, but then I will be going over the answers, so I don't want to take over half an hour to give you all the answers. I'm going to try to make this as quickly as possible. Okay, white to move here, and that's a hint in pausing your video. Okay, so whenever I say it's white to move or black to move, that means if you want, pause your video. Okay, white to move. If you don't see the answer is you want to move your king to right here to c7. Why? It's check, and the king can't go anywhere, so it's checkmate. Okay, so here comes problem number 2, if I can find it. Okay, here's problem number 2. Okay, white to move. The answer is g5, check, a fork. Yes. So now bishop has to take, and the next move is moving your king down to e4, which blocks both of these squares, or that square right there. So now a couple of tries. One of them is if bishop tries to go to h4, again you just come down here blocking the f2 square. Now if we gone back and played bishop h6, well, now you're fast enough with your pawn, you can move your pawn up, bishop comes, pawn up, and it's lights out. Otherwise, if we go back to the very beginning, if you just try to push your pawn up, let's say we go to this square right now, well, the bishop can just come right here and just in one move cover that square, and then it's pretty much just a draw. So okay, next problem. White to move. Do you see it? The answer is knight to d1. Why? Because we're trying to draw this position, and there's no way black's going to be able to get in there. So if black comes to c2, well, then we can just pop our knights over here to give a check. Just kind of like that. And if he comes over here, we just move our knights back. If he comes to the other side, well, we just check him again. And keep on doing the same thing. If he decides to say, screw it, I'm going to come down here, well, you can just leave your knight there, because whenever he pushes his pawn, you take. Because this is a draw position. You cannot win this position as white. This is how it could look like. Once the king attacks you again, you could just jump to the same square, bring your king closer, and take. Okay, that's a draw. Okay. The very next one. Here's another interesting one. It is white to move. Can you draw this position? Okay, the answer is knight to g5. And it's strange, but yes, it will draw, because now we promote to the queen. The knight comes here, checks, perpetuals, perpetual, and no matter what, it's just going to keep on being checks, 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 queen takes the knight at all, it's gonna be stalemate or a draw. Either way. Well, no, yeah, no material, no mating material. Okay, so no matter what. Okay, next position. We already looked at that. Okay, here we go. Now here's another crazy position. It is white to move. Ready? Knight d2 checks. Now the king has to watch out. So if he moves to c3, we got that position again. We come here, and anytime if he wants to attack us, for example, if he comes here, we come here, and if he comes here, we come here, and we're always doing our duties with our knights. So instead, he's gonna come attack us right here. But now we come right here to attack the pawn. But what's gonna happen is once he promotes, we got a fork. Okay? And in the very crazy position, this same position, but I found this in a book, and actually they got this position wrong where they had this king on this square. So playing the same thing would not work because it's a check and it doesn't work. So I think the book's screwed up there. Okay. Next position. We got a handful. We're almost halfway there. Okay. Okay, we have the having the edge here. It is white to move. You ready? There's possible or three different ways we can play this, depending on what black does. So white to move, and it's b7. That's the winning move. That's gonna guarantee you a win here. What black could do is, one is playing knight to d7, but after we play this king to c8 here, he has knight to b6, but now we can just swing our king over here, and we actually cover the very important square right here, where now the knight's not going to be able to stop the promotion of our pawn. Okay. Now play b7 again. Now what if he plays knight to d5? You know, it's going to try to create something. Well, we can play king c8, pretty much similar. Knight e7 check, king to d7. And we actually are stopping any other threats by the knight. He cannot check us again, and the only square he can really go to stop the pawn was right here, but we cover that with our king, so we will just take back if he jumps right there. So let's look at the last possible move is e4. Well, simply we just move our king right here, and he's not going to stop anything because he's just too far away to even get to the pawn. He cannot jump that far. Okay, so now let's get to the next position. Okay, so this is a very tactical. If you're doing your tactics, doing your forks, these are a lot of fork possibilities can come here. So white to move to save the game and draw. You see it? Knight c2. Now the king has to watch out because let's see here. If he comes right here, well, let's use the yellow arrow. If he comes right here, it will be bad because then we got the knight move here that forks both guys. So that's why he cannot go to that square. Let's see where else. You also cannot come to here because it's the same result. So, and he cannot come to any of these squares. So now the king has to do something else. For example, knight f3. He's running away just to come in. But now we bring our king in to do the stalemate position. And we got stalemate. So we set our knight in a perfect position to actually jump to the A from here. We jump here. So whenever we need to, we can jump to that square. We're going to bring our king all the way down to this square and try to get a stalemate. Okay. Next one. We're almost done. We got like, I think 5 more. Something like that. 5 or 6. Forgot. Okay. White to move here. 2 possibilities. See it? Okay. Knight to b3. It's forced. Because we have to stop this pawn from coming here. So that's why we bring our knights from here to, guard that square. Now with king e4 is the main move. We'll look at the other possibilities later on. Okay, knight to e4, tries to get out of possible forks, which there are forks. Coming from definitely this knight coming from right here. So we have to watch out. The king can't go to certain squares, otherwise he'll be forked pretty badly and loses his pawn. Okay, so king e4, king g6, d5. Whenever the king attacks the the knight, we move the knight to the actual corner, and then bring our kings even closer to stalemate, since this king can't go to any of these squares. So now the next opportunity or possibility is f2, right? But same thing happens. Jump to that square, and same thing. Okay. Here's the next one. This is pretty much trying to repeat the position. I'm sorry to give you a hint, but oh well. White to move. Ready? You got it? Okay. Knight to e3. Threatens, the fork. You can come here to fork the king and the pawn if the pawn goes down. So the king has to get closer, but now the knight protects that square in case the king comes right here. Then just jump right here. King comes right here. We jump right here, and we just repeated the position. So pretty much almost anything similar to that, you're going to be able to repeat the position, and he's not going to get past anything. Okay. So what we have left is a total of 5. Okay. Okay. Here's a very simple one. It's white to move. You see it? Okay. Knight to c1 forces, the king can't move, so he has to push his pawn. Ends checkmate. You can see that. And checkmate. Okay. It's kind of like that. Okay, so next one. Trying to get through these quickly. Okay, here's the I can't tell you. This is a very strong move and actually pretty awesome. Is white to move to win. Ready? Okay. Hopefully you solve this one. It's a6 followed by king c8. Now you gotta watch out and do not play this move. Pawn takes, because then you're not winning. The king takes back and it's a draw. So we're gonna start from all over again from here. We go to, since it's white to move, a6 is the correct answer, but this second move was wrong we made before. King comes. Now the king threatens to come here to stop the pawn. So what do? We avoid taking the knight by playing a7. And now we block this square. The king can't do anything. Any move, it does not matter. For example, king right here. We get a queen. And it should be a easily one game. So I'm not going to go over how you win this part of the game, but just showing that you can get a queen and raise your chances of winning this game, or you should be able to. 3 more. Okay, here's another fun one. It's white to move. Do you see it? Okay. Knight to f3, which forces, the king can't move, so he has to push his pawn, and then we got a checkmate. Because we have this knight guarding these two squares, and this knight attacking the king. See that? And also this king here is guarding this square. So everything's covered and being attacked. Okay, so if you've seen that whole thing, one more time. Knight here, pawn push, knight there, checkmate. Okay, how many more? We got 2 more. Maybe one of them's fast? Yes, it is. Okay, it's white to move here. Do you see it? First move is king to h3. Only reason is the knights protect each other, and the king has to move, and we want to block this square from the king, so he's forced to come over here. Next, we play here check. Now we're forcing the same thing. Our king is protecting these 2 squares while this knight is attacking the king, so he's forced to come right here. And we got everything covered, so the last one is knight check here, with this knight covering the other 2 squares, and our king is covering these squares. Okay, so you know, we're just launching a huge attack, 3-move checkmate, right? Awesome. I think we're going through this fast. The last one, the very last example, and it's another checkmate, and it's pretty awesome too. Okay, white to move. Do you see this? Okay, hopefully you tried to solve this. If you didn't, well, okay, who cares? Knight g4 is the correct answer here. You know, you want to bring all your pieces into the game, into the action. Black's going to push his pawn to try to promote to a queen, but here you give a check. The king moves away here, but now here's the next question. What does black do? The correct move is bringing his other knight in. Why? Because now we prevent this square from happening. We don't want this king going over here, so we prevent it. And we cover all the other squares for the king, you know, so he can't go anywhere. So now when he promotes, we got the last knight coming in. We got everything else blocked off, and we got the last check. So it's checkmate. Nothing can stop it. Okay, thank you for watching this video and this endgame lesson. Hopefully you guys did well when you try solving it. So stay tuned next time, and I will make another video very soon. Thanks for watching.